Hey guys, Julie Saillant, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I'm thrilled that you are here. Welcome back to the family. I can't stay away from you guys, my 11s. You guys are my ride or dies. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time, my name is Julie Saillant. I'm an intuitive healer. I'm a shapeshifter, a shaman. I'm an animal communicator, and I'm a channeler and a seer. I do lots of fun things. I help bring messages from your ancestors to you. And I am also someone who helps you connect to your heart, as well as bringing you through alignment of where you need to be to have your soul's purpose and mission come forth in front of you as to where you are right now, because so many of us don't even know what our gifts are. We don't know how to use them, and we surely don't know what our mission is here on earth. And that's what I help with, right? That's one of my superpowers. So thank you for being here. If it's your first time, I know I said that before, but I'm kind of excited tonight because I was doing some research on numerology, and I am not an expert by any means, but the way that we calculate your life path number and our life path number is we are all master life path numbers 11. And if you don't know what that is by your day of your birth, so your day, your month, and your year. I think I just need to put a link there for anybody that wants to check that out ahead of time, because the ones that have already been with me for a while, we already have calculated that, and I don't want to take extra time to do that. But what I wanted to do tonight is I will be doing a channeling for you. I had a bunch, and I mean a bunch of spirit animal totems that want to talk to you guys tonight. So I think there's like 7. So I'm super excited about that. And of course, some people are like, oh, I can't take that many. I'm like, you know what? If they wanted to come out and play, let's take them. They're our friends, right? And besides, they give amazing insight. But I will be doing some channeling from your ancestors around the topics of your shadow side, right? Now, this is exciting because I'll tell you why. So for years, I did not even want to talk to my shadow side, right? We always talk about, our highest self. You think of that angel, powerful, amazing, smart, a lot of wisdom. That's what we all aspire to be, right? And that's the one we focus on. But a lot of people don't talk about shadow side. I mean, they talk about it, but it's one thing to talk about it. It's another to actually see it face to face. And that's what I did. Last year, I decided that I needed to really examine this, something that I've been running from my entire life. If you're like me, which you are, I'm sure a good number of you out there have not even talked to your shadow side, have not even acknowledged him or her. And the first thing she said was, it's about friggin' time you took me out of the box. Like, you have me in a box for your whole friggin' life. What's wrong with your ass? And I was like, uh-oh. But what I found was your shadow side is a huge part of who you are, because it's 50% of your strength, your knowledge, your wisdom, your motivation, your inspiration. What she said to me changed the game for me. And I've never heard anybody say this the way I'm going to say it to you. So I hope this really resonates for you. And what she said to me was this: I am you. You think that I'm separate from you, right? You think that we're different people, like in different silos. Like you're here, and then there's your highest self over here, and then there's your shadow self over here. She said, that's not the way it works. I am you. We are all as one. Okay. So every thought that you've had, I've had. Every happiness and joy, and also fear and phobia, you've had it and I've had it. But the difference is that every time that you were scared, I stepped in front of you and I took the hit for you. Every single time you were afraid, I stuck up for you so you could retreat backwards. And I was like, what? And then I felt really bad. And I said, I'm really sorry. This is a full-on conversation. And she was like, don't worry about it. Like, it's, I'm you, you're me. But keep me close to you, because I can help you, because sometimes you're very naive and you're too nice. And I see all the nasty shit, and I know what's going on. So it's almost like having an alter ego. You have the the angel, and then you might have the devil over here, but they're all facets of your personality and your soul. And you have to believe, at least I believe, that when God, Spirit, the universe made us, right? These were all part of the plan, because by you having these different perspectives of who you are, that's how you can go through life with strengths. You go from strength to strength to strength instead of weakness to weakness. Okay. So I would like you to really get acquainted with your shadow side. Now, there's a lot of teachers out there that teach this. I actually found some information that's very important. I really want to get out to you as Master Number 11s. And it is about the shadow side. And it talks about where our shadows lie. And I think for you, it helped me really understand myself better, because I was like, oh my gosh, that's why I do that. So I just wanted to give this information to you because I think you're going to find it really important. So let's do this before we start. I've already called in my team. I just want you to take a minute here. We're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to connect to our hearts. And as we do so, I really want you to focus on your heart and expand it and set the intention that you are going to get something amazing out of our time together. And actually, I would like you to bring in your ancestors, right? Whenever you find this is when you're meant to hear it. So take a deep breath in, focus in on your heart and expanding it with positive light and love. Take a deep breath in. Positive love and light for your heart, and let it out. Positive love and light. Take another deep breath in, setting the intention that you will receive something wonderful and beautiful out of today's message with your ancestors as we call them in. And let it out. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, everyone. So here we go. The Master Life Path 11s, we always talk about how amazing we are, but we actually are amazing. And this is not something that I say lightly. Every person that comes to Earth has a soul, and every one of us has something amazing to give. We all have different things that we offer up, but I do believe that the master numbers are different. We have bigger missions. I think we are master numbers because we've been reincarnated so many times. We have learned a lot of lessons. You've probably been called an old soul all your life. I know I have. When I was a little girl, they told me I'm an old soul. And that's because you've been here quite a few times. And that's fine. That's awesome. But let me give you some more information. This is very interesting. The number 11 functions within the invisible or intangible realm of the mind. Okay. It's super intelligent, ideas driven, and leverages intuition, vision, and emotions to provide what might be deemed as prophetically inspired moments of pure enlightened genius. Now, I'm gonna go out and guess, because I'm believing that this has happened to you. It's happened to me before. And let me ask you this question. Are you able to change shape? And what I mean by that is change position and show yourself to different people in different ways. And what I mean by that is I still can. I would basically recalibrate myself to whoever I was around, right? So if I was around somebody who spoke really fast, I would speak really fast, or I would slow myself down a little bit so that they would understand me more quicker and easier than if I went at a rate above them. Or if they were looking for someone who kind of expressed themselves as a kind of maybe a little bit more mousy, then I would do that. I'm still able to match and change myself to how the person that I'm talking with is what I think they want to see. Now, that can be a really good thing. It can also be a really bad thing because the real you is not showing up. And so now what I try to do is I try to not do that. I try to just be myself at all times. And you should obviously be yourself at all times. But here's the interesting part of why we do that. Okay. So Pause for a moment and really think about this. That we are number one, right? The number one is the alpha energy, the essence of masculinity. It is the universal vibration of the confident natural leader and the original creator, right? Take this fact, turbocharge it, because now we have two ones for an 11, add an equal and opposite dose of feminine energy into the mix, and you have a master number 11. What makes the master number 11 life path so extraordinary is that its owner can move between the masculine and feminine energy with ease. Okay? This is a massive competitive advantage in life. Those who have this gift can literally shapeshift in an instant into either male or female, being aggressive or passive, leading or supporting. Okay, so are you now starting to understand how incredibly powerful having a master life path 11 really is? The thing is, learning to intelligently shapeshift between these two massively polarized energies, the one and the two, right, the masculine and feminine, is where the major challenge will always lie. Therefore, this is where all personal development work must focus. So guys, this was huge to me, because I've always been able to do that. And I bet you can too. And I bet you've been doing it without even thinking about it. And that's the reason why, because we have this duality. We have the yin and yang. We have the masculine and feminine, which are both 11s, and they're equal. So they harmonize. But that also can bring on a shadow aspect, because if the feminine gets too much attention, the masculine gets jealous, or vice versa. The attributes, you know what I'm saying? But that's amazing. That's amazeballs. Seriously. I was like, holy crap. We also have, what we're striving for is the journey of the 11 is to discover balance and equilibrium. More specifically, balanced leadership, right? People with the master number life path 11 have tremendous psychic potentiality coded into them, but this gift must be developed, and that is why we are often referred to as the master intuitives. We also carry visionary potential, given that the 211s reach skyward like lightning conductors, and this literally blesses their owner with the phenomenal ability to connect with source energy. These inspired visions must never be ignored. They are powerful messages to you from above, from the ethereal realm, and your job is then to do something practical with them, to turn thought invisible into matter visible. What? Okay, so if you didn't catch that, they said it was basically our goal here is to discover balance, like I was just saying, okay? Balanced leadership, right? So that both the feminine and masculine are complete balance. We have a tremendous psychic potential coded into us, which is why we're called the master intuitives. Hello. And we have visionary potential, because the 11s reach up to the sky, which can reach up to source, spirit, God, quickly and clearly. It's a phenomenal ability to connect like a lightning bolt, moments of inspiration from above, from the higher authority or source energy. Okay, these inspired visions, which I call downloads, right, must never be ignored. So basically, what's happening is I just explained to you how I work. I basically can find a quiet space, protect myself, bring in my team, and you can too, bring in your ancestors, and then you can connect, because you're an 11, straight up, beams up, right up to Father, God, to source, to your highest self, to the universe, whatever you believe in. And then you get those downloads, and those downloads are what we use to better our life, to better my clients' lives, to better humanity. And that's why we're called the master intuitives. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope this helps you, because when I just saw this, I just found this out tonight. I did some stuff online. I think what I'll do is I'm going to link what I got this from, the website that I got this from, because I didn't write it, obviously. And I'm all about giving information out. And I never want to take credit for anything that I didn't do. But I thought this information was extremely powerful. And the people that I'm reading from, I don't have the front page. I apologize. I don't have the front page, but they have many years of intense numerology case study research. They've referred to the mathematical model that can successfully lay out your entire life path before in numerical, I can't say that word, numerical notation. They have proven beyond reasonable doubt that everything you will experience this lifetime, past, present, and future, is hardwired into your numbers. Stated differently, the moment a person was born and named, their bespoke numerology data points synchronize into a human, physical, expirational design in perfect accordance with their organized design or intelligent mathematical blueprint. Wow. Damn, dude. So basically, we're pretty badass. And we're visionaries. We're master intuitives. We're psychic. We all know this. I'm sure if you don't know this, this is news to you. Welcome. Come on in. You are one of us. And it doesn't mean that we're better than anybody else. I don't mean it that way. It's just exciting to find out why we do the things we do. Why have you always been able to kind of shapeshift or be passive or be more aggressive depending on who you were talking with in order to balance out the situation, right? Somebody is talking at you and they're very fast and they're aggressive. For you to match them, you need to match them on some level, but not completely, because then it's two people kind of going at each other. So you have to be a little bit more passive to have a nice conversation. And I'm thinking business conversations. I'm not thinking family so much, because family, I never had the need to, you always let your guard down. Well, I always didn't around my family, but it certainly is like incredibly awesome that, we can do this kind of stuff. So let's talk about shadows, shall we? All right. So let's talk about one of your shadow sides, right? Of our shadow sides. And one of them is this. Our shadows lie in fear and even phobias, which arise as a reaction to suppressing our gifts. Our shadow lies in the rejection of your uniqueness. You are not the same as everyone else, but we crave to belong. But the weird thing is that we do reject our own uniqueness and being different. And that's because, in my humble opinion, because we have gotten so much crap when we were younger from our family, from friends, from schoolmates that never understood us. And just for us being who we are, we just got called out all the time, right? And we didn't know why we were different. We didn't even understand. All we knew was we were different, but we didn't know why. So the shadow lies in we've rejected ourselves, right? Many, many times. And that can show up as a fear or even a phobia. So the pitfall is, as a master number 11, your level of awareness is above average. But because of this, you may experience huge amounts of nervous tension. And I can tell you that every one of my clients is like this, right? They have a huge awareness. Pretty much every 11 that I've met, myself included, we can put ourselves in different perspectives. Like we could go into a room and look at a situation, and most people only see their own situation, from their viewpoint. We can see it from our own viewpoint, the person next to us, their viewpoint. And even if you can shapeshift into an eagle or a hawk, you can see it from that viewpoint as well, right? We can see it through many vantage points, which is great, but it also brings a lot of nervous tension to us, right? The result of this is hypersensitivity and becoming overly emotional. So you cope by repressing these strong inner forces, which leads to a vicious cycle of more nervousness and more tension in your life. I know that there's some light bulbs going on right now. So this is awesome. So because of your amazing gifts and energy, you tend to want to be the star of the show, but you also want to kind of be in the background, right? Because it's like, I have something to say, but I don't really like all these people around me because we hate to be judged. Like it's not even, it's a thing for myself. I'll speak for myself. So, we have powers to the point of being psychic. We're wise beyond our years, and we have a fear of rejection. We reject our own uniqueness, right? And we try to be like everybody else, but we are not everybody else. And the way to get around this is that, you need to start taking time for yourself and start accepting yourself. This all comes back to self-love, right? You need to start accepting who you are and that you are different, and that's okay. In fact, that's even a good thing, right? This is amazing news because this is your advantage that a lot of people don't have. The stuff that we can do, a lot of people can't do. And that's why it's an awesome thing. Our soul urge is to trust your inner voice and express this confidently into the world. You are a sensitive, insightful soul, and it's likely that you have psychic gifts and the ability to channel high frequency information to get downloads, right? But sometimes you can scatter your powerful energy and even tend towards self destruction without something external to focus on. Or you may withdraw from the world altogether, tired out by situations and people who seem to take too much out of you. There are so many energy vampires in the workplace, in your personal life, and they just take everything from us, right? So your shadow emerges as self-doubt, fear, or even phobias. And we can lash out because we're trying to claim back some space for ourselves. Um, so the challenge for us is to create boundaries so we can channel healing energies on ourselves. Okay. Create space between you and those needy people, those energy vampires. And this is the time to develop your gifts, not give them away. So important. So really, your strength lies in exactly what you're doing the opposite of. In other words, if you are, your shadow side lies in rejection of our uniqueness, of ourselves. And the other side of that coin is we need to start loving ourselves. We need to start accepting ourselves for what we are, for the things that we can do, right? Some of the spirit animals that came through, the first one was hawk spirit, and let spirit be your guide. Hawk happens to be my totem. I love hawks. In fact, one of my clients today, I was just telling her about hawks and eagles, and we were talking about how, from that vantage point of a bird, especially a bird of prey, they can fly higher than all the other birds. They usually fly individually unless they're with a family or with a mate. Let spirit be your guide. Because we have special abilities, we need help with it, right? And sometimes it's beyond human help. We need spirit to guide us. And so I always say this to you guys. I would really ask that you meditate and do it frequently because that's a power source for you. All your angels, all your guides, all your spirit animals, they're all there. And they really want to connect with you, but you need to ask them to come through. Brown bear spirit came through. Take time out. A lot of you are working way too much, self included. It's time to really start thinking differently and setting yourself up and frame things so that it's to your advantage instead of your disadvantage. So work when it feels comfortable for you, when you feel like you're running on all cylinders, whenever the right time is, but don't work so crazy hours that you're off balance, right? And the bears, I always think take time out because they hibernate. And if they didn't do that, they couldn't survive correctly. That's what they were built to do. And they're also telling me to live life to the fullest. A lot of you out there are putting life on hold and they're saying, don't do that anymore. No more holding. Life's too short. Turtle spirit. I love turtles. Slow and steady wins the race. We always want to go forward. We are the type of people who are, if I'm talking to you right now, you're 5 steps ahead of me right now. You're thinking about all the stuff you have to do tomorrow or the next day. Be here now because you will not miss things that you should be listening to. Slow down to actually speed up because the more that you're focused and centered on what's happening right now, the more grounded you are, the more you'll pick up and you won't miss. Groundhog spirit, time to let go. What is holding you back? What is giving you insomnia at night? What is keeping you up, right? This groundhog's actually holding a heart in his hands. And it looks like to me, he's like pleading, like, listen to your heart. Some of you have disconnected from your heart on purpose so that you don't have to feel anything because you've had a lot of pain around a breakup, around a job. And that's not what's needed right now. What you need to do is re-engage, reconnect to your heart because it's like kind of coming online like a computer. And if you're disconnected from your heart, you're just existing, they're saying. And your ancestors don't want that for you. They really want you to live, like live in the moment. It's time to let go of some of the stuff that you've been carrying, like the balls and chains that's not yours to carry. You've got to let this stuff go. To open up for the new, you need to let go of the old. And I know sometimes it's hard to let go of the old stuff because we're comfortable with it. Even if it's painful, we're comfortable with it because we don't know what's on the other side of that other door, like I've talked about. But the time is here, and you are being challenged to awaken, as every light worker and healer is on this planet. And you can't ignore the call forever because it's not going to go anywhere. Well, you can because you have free will. But I really need you out here helping me. The collective needs you. Koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. That again, reconnect to your heart. You can connect to spirit and ask, what is the plan for my life? And if you don't know how to get a vision for yourself, reach out to me. This is what I do. It's one of my superpowers, is being able to show you in your brightest and best moments and how to move forward in alignment. And then once I start working with you, all this stuff happens because you're in alignment and it becomes easy. And giraffe spirit, see the big picture. I know I've talked about this before, but giraffe spirit, they're so tall, just like the hawks, right? They can see things we can't see. Let me just see if I can get some ancestor messages for some of you. So please do hold the highest intention right now. So what would you like them to know? Anybody that's listening? For some of you, it's saying, don't give up. You are so close to your goals. They're saying that you're going to poo-poo it. Like, yeah, we've heard this before from you. But they're saying you need to take it a step farther. You need to start writing down your goals. You need to start arranging them. They're saying arranging them, quote unquote. In other words, in terms of what will work for you, and start recognizing how much time realistically you can put into something, because some of you have such big goals and so many of them, and that's a problem. That's an issue. They're saying that you can be as precise as a surgeon with a scalpel, as long as you focus. So one of the things, as I mentioned, that's very difficult for us. We're multi-passionate. We like to do lots of things, but that means that a lot of times we get scattered. If you're scattered, your energy's everywhere and it's not as sharp as it needs to be. It's not as powerful as it needs to be. So when I focus and I'm here in the now, right now with you, I'm focused. And that's when I'm able to get my downloads, and all this stuff happens really easily, right? It's the same for you. They're saying focus on one thing at a time and have no more than 3 goals. Seriously. 2 is even better. There's something here about disbelief. There's a lot of you out there right now that are listening to me, and you have such a high disbelief in yourself, and you don't want to believe that you can achieve your goals because you haven't been able to do so in the past. You're ashamed, you're upset, you have lost faith in yourself, you have lost faith in others, family members that said they would help you and they didn't. You've let yourself down. But what I'm being guided to remind you is that this was all part of your soul plan, right? This is why you came here, to learn these lessons. And they may not be easy, and they may not be something that you'd like to go through, but they are there to help you. And it will all make sense in the end. They're also saying that some of you have such big dreams and big goals for your life plan that you don't know how to get them going because they're so big and there's so many moving parts. And they're just like, you think about it and then you just get like, how do I do this? Like, how the hell do I do this? There's too much. And then you just say, oh, and put it away. Nothing ever happens. And I'm guilty of this too. So I have to take this advice and break it down into like bite-sized things that you can work with and do one thing at a time. So take a big goal and work backwards, right? And then once you have all the steps, then you start one step at a time. Like they're saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, one step at a time. Don't put a date on it. Don't put such high expectations on it. Just start moving towards it. And the how will be taken care of for you. That's the deal, okay? Some of you need to set intentions on a daily basis because you have lost sight of your value. Pretty bluntly, you guys are not recognizing how amazing you are. And I say this all the time, and I know people don't listen, and some people go, yeah, whatever. But you guys are limitless beings. You got to believe this. Like I say, if you don't believe this, it will never happen for you. You have to believe that you are amazing and limitless, and then take the steps to make it happen. So the first step, if we know that the challenge is, what was it? I'll read it to you again. Your shadow may emerge as self-doubt, fear, or even a phobia, right? Your shadow lies in the rejection of your uniqueness. You are not the same as everyone else, but you crave to belong. Your shadow lies in how you doubt yourself and resist the call of your soul. You are constantly pressured, so you may have racked nerves and tensions. In high conflict situations, you may become hypersensitive and end up being temperamental. If you have no strategy or plan at hand, you may end up being more of a dreamer instead of a doer. You may end up being impractical as fantasy and reality become mixed up in your head. You want to spread your knowledge even though people may not be ready to receive it. The bright side is you have a direct connection with idealistic and spiritual issues. Your potentials may be quite difficult to live up to, but you can inspire and make a change merely by setting an example. Your inner strength can help you excel in fields that require motivating others, okay? You know, many people who work in the psychic and occult studies have a master number 11 expression number. You have a keen mind and you have an amazing power of analysis. Because of this, you can succeed in any line of work. But again, shadow lies in the rejection of your uniqueness, how you doubt yourself and resist the call of your soul, and lies in fear and even phobias, which arise as a reaction to suppressing your gifts. And I told you guys, if you listen to some of my other videos, that what I'm doing right now, I resisted for like 2 years. And I have also my life plan, my soul purpose. I'm still trying to figure it out because it's so big and has a lot of moving parts, but I'm getting to the point where it's like, I think sometimes you have to say, screw it, and I'm doing it. I'm just starting, just start, and everything will fall into place. All right, guys. So I hope this helped you. And I know this was different. Let me know if you like this, if you like finding out about your shadow side. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you got something out of this and resonated for you. So don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends about it. I'm really trying to grow the channel. If you'd like a personal reading, if you'd like to donate, all the links are below, right? And I love you guys so much. I treasure each and every one of you that listens to me. Thank you for being here, and leave me comments because I do respond to everyone. Okay, thanks so much, guys. Take care.